This is The Philanthropy Show, connecting and inspiring philanthropy.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome to The Philanthropy Show. I'm your host, Luann Saraga-Walters. What a day we have today. Can you hear it? We have Encore going on next door as we launch the Giving Challenge 2015. This is so much excitement. You got a little bit of a taste of it in the intro to the show. But throughout this show, this is 24 hours of we don't know what's going to happen, but we do know that the entire community is coming together for a purpose, and that purpose is for the betterment of the Sarasota County community. So I am so pleased to have our guests on the show today. Thank you for taking the time out. It's a busy, busy day. This just started, and normally we don't time and date stamp our shows, but this just started an hour ago. So we are 1 hour into this 24-hour challenge. And Susie, where are we already?
Well, I'm not sure. When I stepped out of the donor lounge, it looked like we were around $850,000 in less than an hour. So that was super, super exciting to see.
I know,
yes.
Almost $1 million. We could be at $1 million and we wouldn't even know it. So let me introduce our guests for today. First, Susie Bowie, who had just spoken. She's Vice President of Philanthropic Education and Marketing at the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. And Susie has spearheaded this effort for the past, this is the 4th year.
This is our 4th year of the Giving Challenge, yes.
Which is fantastic. And then to her left and to my right, Deborah Jacobs, thank you so much for coming on. She is President and CEO of the Patterson Foundation, which is also instrumental in bringing this together. Don't you have 4 partners, I think, 2 or 3 or 4 partners that work together?
We do. Now, the Patterson Foundation has been a strategic partner for the Community Foundation of Sarasota County in many things, and we work very closely together for the Giving Challenge.
Well, thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
For coming on. And then one more, not to be missed, Elisa Graber with Iberia Bank, who is instrumental in playing a role of partnerships with Iberia Bank, but she also sits on the board. She's the president of the board of the Suncoast Partnership to End Homelessness, so also very actively involved in the nonprofit community here in Sarasota County. So first off, I'm just going to throw this out and say, wow, congratulations, 4 years. What is it like going into now the 4th year of this Giving Challenge?
Well, it's very exciting going into the 4th year. There's also a lot of pressure because our community has been so successful in raising money with the Giving Challenge. We are always trying to find new ways to reinvent the way the Giving Challenge works. And we have been able to do that this year because of the generosity of the Patterson Foundation that has a brand new twist on how things are working, looking at new donors and really trying to inspire people to give to organizations that they have not given to in the past. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about how exciting that is.
Well, with this being the 4th year, the very first year, the Patterson Foundation matched new gifts. Mm-hmm. Year 2 and 3, we matched new and increased gifts. Okay. Again, wanting more variety. Mm-hmm. But each of those 3 years had a cap on how much our match would be. Maybe it was $400,000, maybe it was $450,000. This year, there is no cap.
Wow.
So the excitement was we've actually worked together to de-frenziize the Giving Challenge. Because in previous years with our cap, when was the cap matched?
So in previous years, the cap was matched at around 5 or 6 minutes. And so what that meant is that organizations were largely focusing on the first 5 or 6 minutes of the 36 hours or the 24 hours. And then we had the rest of the Giving Challenge to incentivize other things. But now they can be much more strategic in how they're trying to engage new donors and supporters.
Well, this is, and anybody can speak to this, but I love the fact that Give days like this, the Giving Challenge, 24 hours of giving, are really popping up all around the country. But it does take strategy. This isn't something that is simply oh, hey, let's go do this, and then bam, it comes out. So, Elisa, from the standpoint of the nonprofit, what does it take to put this into action, to kind of get it together and say, yes, we're going to participate, and now how do we go forward with it?
Well, it's interesting because it's really been a growth process.
Mm-hmm.
The first year that I was watching the Giving Challenge, some of the organizations that I've been working with, I think thought that maybe it was too competitive. There was kind of they held back a little bit. And now, because of the way that the challenge has evolved, I see a lot of excitement this year. I think that there's a tremendous amount of support, and because of the way that it changes every year, it doesn't get boring, and people, I think, wrap their arms around it. And now, with the way that the partnerships have been created this year, best nonprofit partnership is one of the challenges. Best profit and not-for-profit is another challenge. I'm seeing some really creative, fun partnerships growing with the nonprofits that I work with.
But when you talk, sorry to interrupt,
No.
but when you talk about the preparation, we really need to shine a little spotlight over here on Susie Bowie because of the number of training sessions she does with all of the nonprofits in the region, helping them think about why would you want to participate? How would you want to? So it is, you said, Luann, it's strategy from word one and how each nonprofit is doing it on their own with the big coach over here.
Oh,
And she makes it fun.
She does.
We try to look at a bunch of different goals. So the most obvious goal is raising money, right? But if you were to break that raising money goal down, we're looking at new donors. How do you engage your current supporters to get new people to come in? So we all know we have our own social networks and circles, but if organizations can cleverly engage their existing supporters to send out that message to their friends and family, people they know really care about the mission, they can involve more people. So that's one goal. Another one is how are you really increasing the community's awareness about the impact that you have in the community? That's another one. How are you pulling your team together? So if your nonprofit team can have fun during the Giving Challenge, just imagine what a fun experience and fundraising can do for your board and your organization as a whole. You're not going to be so afraid of fundraising, and you may not need the Giving Challenge to do the good things you can do in the future. So we're always interested in how organizations can use the Giving Challenge to create new possibilities for themselves in the future.
But also even around their capacity.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
with the YouTubes, an organization who might never have done a video before, now it's ramped up every year how many videos you've got, right?
It is incredible. And for the first year, we actually have a contest for the best video. And so I think we have more than 36 organizations that applied.
fantastic.
And the videos are really incredible. Some of them you would see and think, my goodness, this could air on national television. Others may not be of that caliber, but
They're
maybe
starting.
the organization has tried for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's not just the video itself, but what story are they telling? And as you are so good at pointing out, how do they combine both data and stories to really illustrate their organization's impact? And then how do they distribute that video?
Do you know what I love that I'm hearing from you too? And we're gonna take a quick break and come back and talk about this. But what I love is that this has created the excitement for them to do something year round. It's like giving them an opportunity to say, we can do this, and now let's do more. So we're going to talk more about that and also about the creative partnerships that this has really developed by having a Give Day here locally in Sarasota County. We'll be back with more on The Philanthropy Show.
This show sponsored in part by
The Community Foundation of Sarasota County. Do you feel like you're on a hamster wheel of fundraising activities, trying to meet a goal that's always just out of reach? Then join us in Fundraising Success, the Complete Development Plan, a discussion-style course designed for both brand new fundraisers and experienced professionals to help you create a development plan to increase your fundraising results. Select the fundraising activities that actually work for your organization. Set achievable financial goals and meaningful strategic goals. Create a useful timeline of fundraising activities, and much more. If you're ready to create your complete development plan using resources you can use again and again to modify your plan annually, then enroll today, and we'll see you in class. Enroll today at thephilanthropyshow.com.
this segment brought to you in part by
Gulf Management Systems, GMS fundraising tools. Never miss a donation again. What does the Giving Challenge mean to you?
It means a lot to us. The money that we get from the donors during the Giving Challenge goes back to caring for injured animals, housing permanently injured animals, and taking in exotic animals that need homes. We're able to be funded by donors like this through the Giving Challenge to pay for his food and medicine.
And you know, he's actually saying thank you. Christy is with
Let's Create Art in Lakewood Ranch.
Let's Create Art, and they have drawn out the Giving Challenge logo, and so a part of today is that everybody gets to paint a little bit. This is like meditative. Just over 3 hours in, we have 20 hours and 54 minutes left to give, and we have already received 12,690 gifts, totaling $1.6 million. 3, 2, 1. The Giving Challenge 2015. Can you come here? Do you want to come up on me? Hello. Hi, squirrel. Whoa.
Yeah. You never know who's going to come through the doors on the Giving Challenge. Right, Babu?
Welcome back to the Philanthropy Show. So you can see the amount of excitement that is here. And obviously, too, in our first segment, we just got carried away and caught up. And I want to bring us back just a little bit to that year one, because there are quite a few nonprofits across our communities across the country that are looking at doing their very first Give Day and all that that entails. I've said this before on the show, but I really believe that the face of philanthropy is changing. You know, we used to have a certain structure about what it took to be a philanthropist and how much you had to give, but now everybody can give, anybody, with the technology that we have, which is significant. So Susie, can you talk a little bit to that? You know, in the very first year, what the challenges can be and the main things to focus on for those communities that are looking at it for the first time?
That's a great question. We had no idea what to expect the first year. And I think the key is no matter what happens, be incredibly grateful for all of the work that people put in and for each donor and the difference that they can make with just $25.
Absolutely.
So what we're starting to see, as you mentioned, is how technology is changing giving. What is not changing is what donors expect in return for their gift, and that is understanding the impact that their gift is going to make and being thanked right away for that gift. So one of the great gifts of the Giving Challenge and these kinds of giving days is that every participating organization has a list of their donors that they can access in real time so that they can start thanking those donors, engaging them in their mission. And as Deborah points out often, one of the biggest opportunities of a Giving Challenge or a Giving Day isn't what happens during the Giving Day, but what happens after the Giving Day.
Because many people come to the Giving Day because of the excitement, and it's the opportunity for the organization to nurture, cultivate, share their story in many ways. When we talk about thanking one, actually you don't need to thank someone 8 different ways. So, and that happens over time, but it helps, again, an organization find out people who did it for the fun and who did it because they wanted to learn more. That is the beauty about the giving partner, is people can go on 24/7, plug in whatever issue they want, and up will pop organizations in that field, and then you drill for the one you're most interested in.
And the Giving Partner is Sarasota County's, the Community Foundation of Sarasota County's online program that, and I know you and I both know, there are several different types, but that collect the information of the nonprofits who are participating.
That's right. It's tied in with GuideStar. So our Giving Challenge is all about fun philanthropy, but informed philanthropy.
Yes.
So all of these organizations have very in-depth profiles. We're not saying the organization is good or bad, but we're saying that the organization is transparent, shares its financials, its impact, what its needs are, its strategies, and that helps donors make really good decisions about the investments they want to make before they decide to give.
On that 24, if people were doing the Giving Day partner for the first time, one of the things that I think added to the success was not only having matching funds, but prizes throughout the 24 hours that people could stay engaged. And I think that's one of the strengths that we've learned over the years.
Absolutely. That makes it so much more fun. So we try to come up with all these exciting ways that people can stay engaged with the nonprofits they support and ways that nonprofits can continue to engage their supporters. That's really where one of the big keys is. And one of the things we look at are these business partnerships. And I just really want to thank you for stepping out, working in the business world and supporting nonprofits, because that is part of philanthropy in our community. And we love to find ways that we can connect the business world with the nonprofit world.
And you know, Elisa, before the show, you and I were talking a little bit about how you work with, how Iberia Bank works within the community, and share that, because it's more than, I really love what you had said, that it's more than just a gift now and then.
Yes, well, I love the philosophy behind Iberia Bank's giving policies, which is not just sharing financial resources, but time, talent, and resources. So, for example, locally we have 8 branches. We give 700 hours plus of volunteer service to the organizations that we support. It's not just about the financial side of it, it's also providing resources and enthusiasm empowerment, because by us supporting those organizations, they realize that we're behind them and we want to support them in many more ways than just $1, although that's important too.
Well, here's one big way that you're supporting them during this Giving Challenge is by being a partner. So talk a little bit about that. What does that look like being, when Susie first told me about this last year, I thought, what a great idea, because the nonprofit's not doing it alone. So describe the partnership between a corporation or a business and a nonprofit.
I'm sure everyone does it differently, but what I've done locally is we went out to our branch managers and assistant managers and asked them, what are you passionate about? What organizations would you like to support? Because if your heart isn't in it, then we're at a loss. So that was the first step. We used the Giving Partner quite a bit to be able to do a little due diligence and research those nonprofits, which was phenomenal, such a great help. And then when organizations come to us, and what I do is I try to help facilitate. So whether someone wants to teach children in a Title I school or be on a board, or whatever capacity they feel comfortable in, I help make that happen. And then there's always, a relationship that forms over time. So for me, my background's in marketing. I do a lot of support in social media and marketing for the organizations that I love. And the other folks in my branches, they have their own fit.
But see, this is, what do the folks in your branches feel? I mean, here they're actually being included. They get to invest themselves as a team, as a unit, into this one nonprofit. I think that's so cool. That concept is just really neat.
It's been wonderful because initially not everybody was used to that. They weren't asked to do this type of thing. So we formed teams, and there's this wonderful feeling of giving back and feeling a part of the community and being relevant, that I've watched the managers that I work with become so passionate. And it's just beautiful.
Great for the morale. Great for the morale of the employees. Great for the team.
Great for the
Great
community.
for everybody that they talk to into the community. And we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, I want to talk more about the impact within the community too, that these 24-hour cycles can really do, and then lasting year-round. So we'll be right back with more on The Philanthropy Show. It's said that a habit can be built in 3 weeks, so we've added a 4th week to anchor the experience. Over 28 days, you will do 28 different exercises designed to generate a greater awareness of all the good in your life. It might be within you, the value of other people, the blessings in your work, home, family, the good you're having flowing in your material life. Gratitude works in every area of our lives, and its benefits start immediately. We all have different areas that are easier for us to be more grateful for, and we have areas in our lives that sometimes we struggle to find any good. These exercises in this course are designed to cover a wide array of these areas, to give us practice in them all. And if you find that some are particularly challenging, be grateful. You've just discovered an area of potential growth. See how this works? So we will preview the exercises in short 2 to 3 minute videos to explain the intention behind each exercise and what each exercise can do to help change your life, create more peace, bring more joy, richer experiences, more meaningful relationships, and countless untold blessings into each and every day. Each day has a workout sheet in the resource section that you can download and print for the 28-day workout. To really benefit from this course, make it a personal commitment. Only you can benefit or not from being true to your daily exercises. Are you ready to unleash the power of gratitude in your life? Enroll today in the 28-day gratitude workout and start practicing exercises that make every day count. Welcome back to The Philanthropy Show. This is such an exciting episode of the show because here we are in the midst of this incredible energy. You can just feel it. We were setting up the set today. I'm thinking, wow, this is just, it's all alive. We were talking about the impact that Give Days, these 24-hour periods of combustible energy, have on the community and on the nonprofit. And Lisa, I wanted to start with you because have you seen a transformation since your organizations have been involved in?
Absolutely. One of the most interesting things for me with the Suncoast Partnership to End Homelessness is that initially the first year, we just thought we couldn't do it. We didn't have enough staff, didn't have enough volunteer base. It was a big mistake. The second year, we knew we had to do it, and then each year we've grown. And I think it's really interesting that I guess the majority of the donations come in at a $25 level, which anybody can do. So it empowers the whole community. So everyone can feel like a philanthropist, and so that's given us a lot of energy moving forward.
And do you find that not just within the staff, but also within your board members and within the volunteers? And so it kind of is this spread out effect.
It has helped us grow our volunteer base tremendously.
That's
yes,
great.
Yes, and it does help bring the board together in new and different ways that strengthen the organization as well.
And I thought of something when we were talking during the break, and Deborah, you had mentioned this is actually not just Sarasota County. This is 4 counties. Tell me what they are again.
It's Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, and DeSoto counties. So this 4
We're talking
county.
a lot.
That's right. That's
A lot of people, how many nonprofits are invested in this?
Well, we have 449 participating in the Giving Challenge. So those are the ones that have really have invested in transparency. Many of these organizations are serving multiple counties, and of course, it's all different mission focuses. So the human service and the education organizations, animals, all environment, any mission you can think of, you can find in the Giving Partner. So that really speaks, I think, to the level of choice we have as donors. We put a really high premium on choice with anything, and there's so many choices out there. So with tools like the Giving Partner, we can really understand what our choices are for giving, because it's not just 1 or 2, it's hundreds.
Well, and it's more than you had from last year. You know, Deborah, you mentioned in the first segment, this match, and thank you for doing this, and you didn't want to put a cap on it this year, but the match really is for new donors, right? New donations, and so you're by setting that up, you're encouraging even more people to participate, and for those nonprofits to get excited about it. I mean, what's your thinking behind going into? Let's see how many more people we can get involved.
It all comes back to the theory that each one of us, every day when we wake up, every person has the opportunity and responsibility to make a difference, and everyone can be generous. And I actually get as excited about someone who may not be a mega wealthy person who says, I have to be part of the Giving Challenge. And the excitement on that leaderboard, it updates every 60 seconds, is that right?
Yes.
It's addictive. People want to get in there, they want to find out what's happening, and you'll watch people make decisions going, oh, my favorite, I better do something. I better, and then they get on their social media and reach out via Twitter or Facebook to say, come on, we need more here. So there's that activity that
That's
happens
right.
throughout.
It is a competitiveness, but a friendly and a
Oh, yeah.
fun
Oh, yeah.
competitiveness.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, you don't want your favorite organization to miss out, right? Especially if you might not be so fond of the organization right above or below yours on the leaderboard. You're going to give a little bit more, right? And you can kind of watch it inching up. So it's a lot of fun.
I want to get into, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, but also in the strategy that nonprofits can use as they're reaching out, you can actually identify that you want to go for the Night Owl prize. And you say to all of your donors, only donate between 1 and 3 in the morning, or whatever those magical hours are. So you don't have to be in all 24
Be creative,
hours.
yeah.
Be creative on when your donors will feel comfortable and when you might be able to trigger a prize.
It's what we call the cupcake slide. So when we're doing the trainings, we show this beautiful tray of cupcakes, right? And when you walk into one of those stores, you want all of them, right? And this is true with any strategy, but you can't have all of them. You can, or you'd have a horrible stomachache. You want to pick the 1 or 2 that you want the most. So that's true with the Giving Challenge, but any nonprofit strategy, right? You can't do everything at once to advance your organization. So you have to pick a couple of things that can have the biggest impact on where you want to go in the future.
Well, I like the way you're saying with that too, because then instead of being overwhelmed, like when you said the first year, it's we don't have the staff to participate in this, but you can narrow it down and say we have the staff to be able to do this and to be able to do
Focus.
that. I love that. So I have 2 questions. I know the answer to the first one because I've heard it, but I want you to share with our audience as well. Can $25 make a difference?
So yes, $25 can make a difference, and $25 can make a difference in 2 different ways. When you give that money, $25 can add up very quickly, right, to fund programs and services that are vital to any community. The second way that it can make a difference is for you personally. When that organization reaches out and shares the impact that that gift can have, that makes a difference for you as a donor. So there are two different ways it absolutely can make a difference.
And the statistics that you had from last year,
Yes.
what percent were $25 gifts?
So last year, $3.127 million was on the leaderboard when we were done.
3.127 million, and at that time, this was the largest, wasn't it the largest raised amount nationally?
So of all the organizations participating through our technology partner, Kimbia, for Give Local America, Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, and DeSoto counties raised the most. And out of that 3.127 million, some of that came from funders, but what came from online donors? 43% were $25.
43%.
43%. That's a lot. That's a lot. So absolutely, they add up and they make a big difference.
How many transactions last year? How
Last
many
year we had
donors?
more than 20,000 transactions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now some of those were repeat donors, but many of them were not. So 20,000 transactions in 24 hours, that's a lot of giving. All 50 states gave. People from all over the globe gave that are invested in the
No, you
local
didn't get
organizations.
Antarctica.
We've been missing one continent.
That's a goal for this year, isn't it? That's-
Where were
Come on,
they?
Antarctica. Play.
We
play
know you're
ball.
there.
We need you.
That's right.
I wanted to wrap with this this final question, and before we get into our Truth or Care, which will be brief, but how much of an impact does this play for a nonprofit year-round? The tools, the experience that they're having on this 24-hour period and the months leading up to it for the strategy, what does it do for the nonprofit in helping them continue to develop the skills that they need?
So I think for small organizations, small and mid-sized organizations, this infuses a lot of capacity and strength. They're thinking about new techniques they may have never thought of before. They're understanding the value of capturing donor information and following up with them. They're exploring new strategies. For larger organizations, it gives them the space to be creative in ways they have never had the time or the possibility to be creative before. So they're kind of two different realities, depending on how large your organization is, but it does make a difference, and we see it coming up in the year-end appeals and the other things that the organizations do when they're reaching out to the community foundation.
And they get excited about it,
They
and
get
they want to
excited.
come back for next year,
That's right.
Elisa?
Absolutely.
I do.
So you're familiar with our Truth or Care segment. It's our trademark for the Philanthropy Show, and Susie is a thank you for being a return guest on the show. Appreciate it. But Truth or Care is, what is your heart's definition of philanthropy? So we can do the fickle finger of fate, or whoever wants to start. What does that mean to you, and why are you involved in the philanthropic sector? Why do you do what you do? Susie?
So it's so tough, and I will speak. I've been with the Community Foundation of Sarasota County for 10 years now, and when I came on board, my philanthropic passion was the environment. I really cared about the environment, and I still do. But now, and I'm going to go back to that word of choice, philanthropy and the heart is about choice. We choose to follow what we love, and there are so many choices in this community. Being at the Community Foundation of Sarasota County, I get to work with donors and nonprofits that care about all kinds of missions, so that's really where my heart is. I love to see people get fulfilled by their choices in giving.
You have a passion for passion, my friend.
I do,
I
I do.
love that. I love that.
Well, and
Deborah.
I'll take it that there is no greater high than the joy you get from giving. So that spark, and you watch people when they go, oh my gosh, this was good. Not just in the Giving Challenge, which is wonderful, but when people make that conscious decision of where to give, there's that joy. Then over time, it translates into the responsibility I must, because it's part of who I am. So it's no longer something that happens, but rather it's part of my DNA and who I am that I must share with others.
It's a transformative experience. So that's neat. That's a neat way to say it. Wow. And
You
Lisa,
taught that.
you don't
I
just
know,
share
I
your
just-
own. Why do you do what you do?
For me, it's something I've always wanted to do my entire life. And so I just feel totally blessed to be able to be doing what I'm doing right now. I love being a part of this. It's just, it makes me feel good, which is selfish. I hate to say that, it makes me feel great. But whether it's a smile on a little child or you know, a dog that gets rescued or helping Mother Earth, it all feels great.
And I love that too. You know, it is, philanthropy is the love of humanity, right? I'm paraphrasing, but the love of humanity, that connection that we feel. And it's not selfish, you're human. You have to be a human to love other humans. Did I say that the right way? I think so. Anyway, we're wrapping up the show, but thank you all for being guests with us today on the Philanthropy Show. Thank you for what you're doing with the Giving Challenge. Congratulations now on going into 4 years. And we're going to take our cameras and rove around the building and see what's going on, because there's a lot of activity, and we'll report back to you. So thanks for joining us on the Philanthropy Show. Have a great day, and we'll see you next Monday.
Da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da, da da da.
Say it again. Say it again.
Hello. 3, 2, 1.
Have an idea for the Philanthropy Show? Contact us via our website or email us at tps@myvideovoice.com.